Dave being Dave, he always spots a good opportunity to entertain, and he invited Taylor out to the middle of the stage, and I think it's safe to say that Taylor absolutely nailed it.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Foos Files, the podcast for fans of the Foo Fighters. It's Dan here, and this week we've got the second of our Storytellers episodes. But before we get into that, I just wanted to touch on a couple of Foos related developments from the past few days. Firstly, yesterday, Tuesday, was Chris Shiflett's birthday. Shifty turned 54, and I'm sure you'd all like to join me in wishing him many happy returns. As you might have seen in my social media post, I've said that next time he's in town, more than happy to treat him to a Greg's pasty or sausage roll. If you know, you know, especially if you're a UK listener. Secondly, I just wanted to quickly congratulate the UK Foo Fighters tribute band who've been in Liverpool to headline the world famous Cavern Club. I interviewed the singer Jay for the podcast a few weeks back. We'll be putting that one out soon. We've kept in touch since, and I know how much the Beatles mean to him, so this was a huge deal. From what I've seen on socials, it looked like a great night. They paid homage to the Foo Fighters' links with the Beatles and Paul McCartney. They opened the show with Band on the Run, which the Foo Fighters have covered, and of course Dave Grohl has performed with Paul McCartney in the past. And they also played Hey Bulldog from the Beatles' Yellow Submarine soundtrack, which again Dave has performed before, and was apparently at one stage his daughter Violet's favourite Beatles song too. So well done to Jay and the UK Foo Fighters. On to this week's episode. Our latest storyteller is Daniel Blackburn from Northern Ireland, and he shares a feel-good tale about how his son, at the time only 5 years old, stole the show at a Foo Fighters gig in Belfast in 2019. Daniel and his wife Nikki are both huge fans of the band, and if ever there was any doubt about their son following suit, well, his name is a bit of a giveaway.
We were going to call him Taylor Grohl, but we decided no, so we called him Taylor David Blackburn. So there's a bit of the Foo Fighter influence within his name.
Now it's fair to say that young Taylor had a first concert experience like no other. Here's Daniel to take up the story.
My man over there can dance, right? My man over there can dance, right? Do you want to dance? Do you want to dance?
I can take you right back to even when Taylor was still cooking in Nikki's belly. We used to play music, and one of the songs that I always reacted to by kicking Nikki was Best of You. So he's been enjoying Foo Fighters even since before he was born. And then when Nikki used to take me to work when he was just a young kid, we used to put on The Pretender. And he always used to have the biggest smile on his face. We've still got videos of it where that comes on and he's kicking his little feet as no more than a year old. But fast forward to August 2019, we had obviously bought our tickets as soon as they went on sale. Day one, clicking on Ticketmaster as soon as they went on sale. So we had our tickets for months, and we'd been obviously really excited, but we thought Taylor was probably a bit too young because he was only 4 when they went on sale. Then he turned 5, and it was only the Friday before the gig. So the gig was on a Monday. So the Friday before the gig, I was sitting in work, particularly quiet day, and I phoned Nikki and I was like, there's tickets available. Should we take them? So then we had a bit of a back and forth, and we thought, yes, no. So we thought, yeah, let's take them. We contacted the promoter for the venue, and we said, look, can we take our 5-year-old into the pit? And they're like, yeah, it's fine, as long as you're responsible. And we're like, yeah, it's fine. The way we worked it out, we bought the ticket only 4 days before the gig. Up until then, he wasn't even scheduled to go. On the day, we sent Taylor over to my mum and dad's so that me and Nikki could go and queue up to make sure that we got into the pit, because it was still first come, first served. So we queued up all day from before 10 in the morning. My mum and dad brought Taylor over at about 4 when gates first opened. He got to jump the queue. But the reaction of everyone around us, we'd been talking all day about Taylor's coming down. It's going to be his first ever gig. We've named him after Taylor Hawkins and Dave Grohl. We're really excited. We hope he is. So by the time Taylor arrived, the crowd, were all the ones around us were like, yeah, this is cool. We're excited. And we'd made the sign. So I had left the queue to walk down. The road is called the Boucher Road where the gig was. So I'd walked in and out of loads of shops and I said, look, I want to write a sign to try and get the band's attention, to let them know that it's my son's first gig. And eventually I found a shop, got a tiny little piece of cardboard, and we wrote on it, I'm Taylor, age 5, first ever gig. So we went through the warm-up acts and then the Foos came out and he was obviously really enjoying it. And then it was about halfway through the gig that Dave spotted Taylor on my shoulders, and he spotted the sign, and the crowd around us were amazing. They started chanting, get him up. So Dave was like, all right, should we get the kid up on stage? So then he was like, yeah, bring the dad, bring the mum. I don't want to babysit your kid for the next couple of hours. So we jumped on stage, but we were at the side and we were just watching, which obviously for me and Nikki, we were like, this is dream come true. This is like the most amazing thing that's ever happened. And as we were on stage, the guitar tech for Chris Shiflett, Sean, the guy with the big wizard beard, he made a massive fuss over Taylor. He put Shifty's guitar on him when we got a photo. He gave us Dave's Foo Fighter branded wristbands. He gave us some of Taylor's drumsticks. He gave us picks. He gave us set list. He gave us everything. So we thought, this is amazing. And then during the breakdown of All My Life, Dave spotted Taylor dancing next to us. So he walked over and he was jamming in front of Taylor, and Taylor was dancing, absolutely loving it. So again, we thought, wow, this is like the most amazing thing. That's Dave Grohl and Taylor within inches of each other and within inches of us. So again, we thought it just doesn't get any better. So Dave went back to continue the show. But little did we know that Dave being Dave, he always spots a good opportunity to entertain. So he thought, I'll take a chance, and he invited Taylor out to the middle of the stage, and I think it's safe to say that Taylor absolutely nailed it. No fear on him, he just absolutely went for it. It's 35,000 people, strong crowd, and he danced like he was in the living room watching a video. He absolutely loved it.
Let's hear from the little man, right on! Here's one for the old school. Come on now.
He's very IT literate, and he's always been. Because of the work that I do, I've always made sure that he's capable. He has his own YouTube channel, and he's always on there creating content. And as a responsible father, I always make sure that he's not looking at anything he shouldn't be. But when I look at his search history, he looks up that video a lot. So he watches it quite a bit, and he understands now that he's been to see them a few times, and we went to the Taylor Hawkins tribute and he saw the emotion of people. He gets it a lot more now, and it's still probably his favorite memory, and he comes back to it quite a bit.
If there's a band that can make stuff like this happen, it's the Foo Fighters. Thanks to Daniel for sharing his story. In fact, he'll be back on the podcast in the near future with another heartwarming tale of how the Foo community helped him and Nikki during a really tough period in their lives. And don't forget, if you want to be our next storyteller, do get in touch on foosfilespod@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Foos Files will be back next week. In the meantime, don't forget to hit the follow or subscribe button on your favourite podcast app. Until then, take care.